Right, well, before we even crack on with today's chat, there's a bit of a, shall we say, a side warning from the chaps over at the Garden Sessions. They've dropped a rather bold note that this episode might not be for you if you're easily offended or, frankly, not keen on a bit of unvarnished truth. They said this gets down to the raw nitty-gritty by discerning fruits and actions.
Oh, go on then, Miles. Are we talking mildly uncomfortable or might need a lie down afterwards truth? Because that's quite the gauntlet they've thrown down.
Apparently it calls out false light facades and made rattle those that live in fear and comfort. So if your comfort zone is more of a comfort fortress, prepare for a bit of a trimmer. But in their defense, they do pray that God speaks to you and removes any chains, releases whatever you refuse to let go of. So, bit of tough love then.
A divine kick up the backside. Lovely, always appreciated. So, what exactly is this earth-shattering topic that requires such a preamble? I hear we're pulling up chairs whether we're stuck in traffic or working late.
It's all about discerning spirits, Sophie. Specifically, when the mask blows and the real vessel shows up. This is an entry from the Garden Sessions, and the creator is giving us a proper blueprint for spotting what's genuinely forged in someone's spirit when life turns up the heat. It's a tactical blueprint for real-life church groups, family dinners, workplace chats.
Right, so no more hiding behind a blessed and highly favoured chat at the office when things get a bit sticky then, because that's a common manoeuvre, isn't it? We're testing spirits without playing games while keeping our hearts surrendered.
Precisely. If you recall our last tingwag about energy transfer, where energy doesn't just vanish but builds pressure, well, this takes that concept and cranks it up to 11, apparently. It's about how we test the spirits, 1 John 4:1, without resorting to playground squabbles.
So we're talking about the fake mask or the simulation then? The one that looks all spiritual on the outside, but underneath it's a bit, well, gooey perhaps.
Gooey and built for comfort, not the forge, Sophie. When high-voltage truth or gentle correction hits it, boom! Mechanical failure. The mask doesn't just politely slide off. It blows out like a cheap tire on the highway, apparently, and the way it blows tells you everything about what's driving the person. Flesh, fear, or something a bit darker that's hitched a ride on unsurrendered energy.
A dodgy tire. I can picture that. Fascinating.
It is. The creator of the Garden Sessions dives deep into why these ego masks form. Things like a lack of love, unhealed trauma, or simply never facing proper pressure. This mask, this spiritual and psychological insulation, is often just the Christian script playbook. It wants the rewards, peace, provision, position, without the sanding, the pruning, the fire that shapes the vessel.
Yes, the God is so good. Can't complain, just trusting the Lord routine. All while their hidden habits and lack of real growth stay exactly the same. We've all seen that, haven't we? There's a massive gap between the audio and the hardware.
Indeed. Like Proverbs 4:23 says, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. If that heart's never been pressure tested, the energy it generates, fear, pride, offense, has nowhere healthy to go. Now, why do these masks exist? Different ego kinds form as survival armor when perfect love hasn't yet cast out fear.
Well, they get quite scientific and spiritual. The fear-based ego, from unhealed wounds or just a lifetime of soft living, makes the brain's ancient smoke detector, the amygdala, treat any correction as a full-blown threat. Science calls it the amygdala hijack. Perceived danger spikes, rational brain bypasses, survival mode kicks in.
Right, the amygdala hijack, where the rational brain goes on holiday and survival mode kicks in. So truth hits, perceived danger spikes, and boom, the person blacks out emotionally. That unsurrendered energy just explodes outwards.
Exactly. Then you've got the performance or religious pride ego, born from a lack of unconditional love, always performing for approval. And the control ego, often tied to a Jezebel-type spirit dynamic, where they seize control when the narrative slips. It all boils down to avoiding trials, stuffing trauma, or just dodging pressure.
Right, I think I'm starting to get the picture. Do they have a handy analogy to illustrate this rather explosive concept?
Oh, they absolutely do. The parable of the pressure cooker saint. Imagine two pots on the stove. One's cheap plastic, shiny but never seen the fire. The other is forged steel, tempered over and over. Turn up the heat, that's life's pressure, and the plastic one goes pop, splattering hot mess everywhere. The steel one, it whistles a clean note, releases pressure safely, and the stew inside gets even better.
So same heat, same energy, but totally different outcomes depending on the vessel. That makes perfect sense. How did these masks actually get forced off, though?
There are 3 mercies from God, as they put it. First, a frequency mismatch. When a truly forged vessel walks into a room, the comfortable one feels it like silent judgment, not because the forged person is being mean, but light exposes darkness. Their unsurrendered energy just vibrates wrong.
So you don't even have to say anything. Your very presence just makes their plastic mask melt. That's quite a superpower.
Then there's the correction, the sledgehammer. You speak truth in love, and the ego has to choose accountability or insolence. And finally, the God factor. He just turns up the light and melts the mask so something real can form underneath.
Blimey, and when the blowout happens, how do we distinguish between just a bit of a human tantrum and something a bit more demonic?
Good question. A flush response to correction might be conviction, awkward silence, or a messy human, "I'm sorry, I see it now." Aftermath, they seek reconciliation and growth. A demonic flare, however, is mockery, sarcasm dripping like acid, or sudden rage. Afterwards, they devalue you, you're too intense, or flip to victimhood to manipulate the room.
Right, the spirit squad, as they call it, the spirit of mockery, religious pride, and control. So if someone's cracking jokes at the wrong moment, or trying to tone police you, or suddenly playing the victim, that's a red flag then.
Indeed, it's the system override in action. Adrenaline floods, survival response hijacks the body, and if there's no history of surrender, that biological gap becomes an entry point. The spirit doesn't just whisper, it rides the surge like a surfer on a wave, like Jesus warned Peter in Luke 22:31. "Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat."
A proper sifting then. What about those cases where it's a mix of flesh and something darker, or someone genuinely trying but new to the whole pressure thing?
Those are the edge cases, and that's where mercy and patience come in. We don't write them off, we pray they surrender. But here's the kicker, Sophie. We have to run this test on ourselves first. When correction lands and your heart races, ask, "Lord, is this flesh or something else? I relinquish this energy to you right now."
So, the old speck and plank scenario from Matthew 7:3-5. Don't go pointing out someone else's plastic pot when your own's made of cardboard, essentially.
Precisely. Daily surrender is the safeguard. Otherwise, our discernment gets clouded and we become part of the blowout ourselves. The Creator gives us another parable too. The cheap inflatable boat versus the forged steel ship. Both look fine in calm waters, but when the storm hits, betrayal, truth spoken, the inflatable one flops, deflates, scatters energy. The steel ship, with its scars, cuts through.
Because the steel surrendered to the shipyard fire and hammering long before the voyage. That's the key, isn't it? The yield point.
It is. If someone's living in faith-based fear, they can't process sovereign authority. Your fire looks like a violation. Correction feels like an attack. But here's the good news. The pressure test isn't to destroy, it's to invite surrender. Every time the mask cracks, God's right there saying, "Hand me that energy. Let me burn off the fake and forge something that lasts."
So the same heat that pops the plastic perfects the steel, as James 1:2-4 reminds us about trials producing steadfastness.
It sounds rather uncomfortable, but ultimately transformative.
Absolutely. God is purifying his house and masks are popping everywhere. The sting of correction, the fear, it all becomes fuel when handed over. He takes that energy and turns it into authority, peace, and lasting fruit. Just remember, you were made for the forge, not the simulation. Hand that energy to the master smith. Before we can be ruthless about others, we must check our own fruit daily, avoiding the Matthew 7:3-5 plank in our own eye. Daily surrender is the safeguard against clouded discernment.
A rather powerful thought to leave us with. If this has resonated with you, do share it with someone else navigating this rather turbulent world.